The 3 active fires and a warning for nearby families.
Meanwhile, evacuated West Maui residents line up for hours to get back into their community, but some aren't following the rules.
Oh my God, this is a nightmare.
New video shows the apparent start of the Lahaina disaster, chasing a family from their home.
I always want more warnings. I always want more protection for people.
And Hawaii's Attorney General wants answers on how the government responded to the catastrophic fire.
The breaking news continues in West Maui, where after opening the highway into Lahaina today, police have shut down the road in both directions because of reported unrest in the burn zone. Police closed the highway 2 hours ago, saying unauthorized people were entering the historic town.
No word tonight on when the road will reopen, but there's a long line of vehicles waiting to get in. More on that in just a moment. But first, the death toll has risen for a third straight day to 67 lives lost. All 3 fires on Maui are still active tonight, with the Lahaina fire now contained at 85%. The power outages continue in West Maui. Cell service is slowly being restored, but everyone is asked to stick to texting if possible to share the limited bandwidth.
This new map shows a damage assessment based on Red Cross data and artificial intelligence from Microsoft. It says more than 2,800 buildings were impacted by the Lahaina fire, all marked here by various shades of red. The AI tool says about 1,200 buildings were more than 80% damaged.
As hotspots continue in Lahaina, Kihei, and Kula, health officials say people near the fire zones should wear gloves and avoid breathing in toxic dust and other airborne particles. Maui County also says the water system lost pressure as structures were destroyed, potentially causing harmful contaminants to enter the system. Residents should use bottled water for drinking, brushing teeth, making ice, and preparing food.
We have team coverage tonight. We'll start on that road into Lahaina, now shut down. Our Chelsea Davis is live in Waikapu with the breaking news. Chelsea?
Yeah, Maui Police Department Public Information Officer Alana Pico did confirm with me that there is definitely unrest happening right now in West Maui. And that's why I've seen dozens of emergency response vehicles racing out in that direction, dozens of police cars, fire trucks as well, ambulances as well, and even ocean safety. It just seems like every single emergency vehicle is headed that way. It definitely seems like an all hands on deck situation happening on the west side, and that is because, as we've been saying, there are people who are not following the rules. They open traffic to visitors and residents into the west side to get their belongings, but there was restrictions in place. They did not want anyone going into the historic town of Lahaina to preserve it. It is still dangerous out there. They're still doing recovery efforts and searching for survivors. So there were barricades set up, but Alana Pico, Public Information Officer with MPD, says that people were going into the restricted areas that were not safe. So they had to stop their recovery efforts, stop searching for survivors to get those people out of there. I talked to people trying to get back to their homes earlier today. Take a listen.
It's pretty awful. I think words that's coming back to me from my brother, it's all pretty awful. But people on the other side right now are really banding together and trying to pull things together. And we're going to be all right. We're all going to be all right.
But I saw lots of people at War Memorial, you know, poor teen, they have no home, nowhere to go. I'm lucky I have my mom's house, but, you know, there's children and elderly people. And I have friends who went in and they said there's a lot of bodies, children and elderlies that need help.
You know, I want to take a moment right now to really thank our first responders. They've been working around the clock. Many Maui police officers, many Maui firefighters have lost their homes as well. And they are still on the front lines working and battling and trying to save people out there, searching for survivors, doing recovery efforts. So our hearts go out to them. And I definitely want to thank them for working so hard for our community. You know, out here live in Waikapu, we've seen emergency vehicles vehicles flying in, and we've also seen fire engines heading out, and we're hearing that multiple fire engines have burned in the fire. So definitely still an ongoing situation, a developing story, as firefighters are still, and police officers and all emergency response vehicles still working so hard to contain the situation out in West Maui. Chelsea Davis for Hawaii News Now.
Oh, Chelsea, thank you so much to track down and report tonight. Thank you. The line to get into Lahaina includes some vehicles loaded with donations.
Our Lynn Kawano has more on the relief effort from a checkpoint in Ma'alaya.
This is the last checkpoint along Honoapi'ilani Highway before you get to Lahaina. It's where many of the donors lined up before going into Lahaina.
We're getting snacks more. We got wipes. We have peanut butter.
Paulina Marion helped organize a drive to bring essentials to residents still in the disaster zone. The group walked the ruined neighborhoods with a cart distributing items. The Lahaina Gateway parking lot has also become a donation center. Dozens of Maui residents answered the call, packing up trucks to bring supplies to those still without power, cell service. Some have had no fresh water or food for days.
We're just trying to help as many people as we can. We're just trying to get over to Lahaina and drop this stuff off.
Better access to the area means more large donations. We'll get to those in need. I'm Lynn Kawano, Hawaii News Now.
And now terrifying moments for a Lahaina couple as they escaped from their beloved community.
They say the wildfire started behind their home and believe they were among the first to get out.
Oh my God, I think we need to load up the car maybe. Oh my God, it is so close.
Jill and Mike Perkins say the Lahaina fire started just behind their Mill Street home around 3:30 Tuesday. With no notice to evacuate, they jumped in their car with their dog, 2 cats, and just a few items.
Oh my God, this is a nightmare.
As the angry flames roared all around them,
We have the kitties and Sunny, I have you.
they desperately tried to figure out how to escape.
I thought we were gonna die. I said, oh my God, this can't be happening right now. Oh, that's the tree, the monkey butt tree. Next to our house.
Their Lahaina home devoured as they fled.
That's our house. Going, that's coming, let's go. What if it jumps the freeway here? And I only took a videotape because I knew that that was probably the last time we'll be there. And it was just like unbelievable to watch.
Just burn right by it and keep going.
Oh my God.
The Perkins say traffic was at a standstill because of live wires over Honoapi'ilani Highway. Then Hiko crews put down plywood over the lines and they drove over it 1 car at a time. They say each second was excruciating.
There's probably 80 cars in front of us.
I don't know. It just,
60 or 80 cars.
it just seemed like every second was 10 hours waiting. And I kept saying, do we get out and run? Things are hitting our car, like branches and embers were hitting our car. A live wire hit our car, burned our car.
We had a live power line hit the top of our car. I was terrified and I was concerned for our family and for all of the other people there.
They made it to Kahului in 2.5 hours. Their house now in ashes, but memories of their beloved Dickinson Plantation home and Lahaina still strong.
And thanks to insurance, the Perkins are now living in a hotel in Wailea.
So scary.
Very scary.
And you just got to be grateful to get out alive and with what you can.
They're still processing all of this.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, the state land department is claiming that water restrictions imposed by a judge affected the ability to fight the Maui fires.
The department has filed a motion with the state Supreme Court to take the case away from the judge who made that ruling. Judge Jeffrey Crabtree sided with environmentalists this year when he agreed to more limits on the amount of water that can be taken from central Maui's streams. Attorneys for the land department say that left central Maui with no water for a fire reserve, and that there was not enough water under the permits to battle the fires on Wednesday. But attorneys for the Sierra Club say DLNR's 33-page motion was clearly in the works well before the fires.
When the fire happened, they added a number of sentences regarding the fire. But this motion has absolutely nothing to do with the fire. It is a craven exercise of cynicism. It's outrageous and inappropriate.
The Sierra Club says the permits allow far more water to be used for firefighting than is necessary, and that DLNR is exploiting the fires for an advantage in court. So far, no response from the department. Hawaii's Attorney General Ann Lopez wants answers on how government officials are dealing with this natural disaster. Her office says it's launching a comprehensive review of critical decision-making and policies before, during, and after the wildfires on Maui and the Big Island. The statement did not provide a timeline, but said the results will be shared with the public. This comes as the Associated Press reports that no warning sirens went off as the fires ripped through West Maui.
There were mobile phone, television, and radio alerts, but by then there were widespread power and cellular outages.
I always want more warnings. I always want more protection for people. But this is the first time in an era of changed climate that we've ever seen this. Now we are better aware, but our hearts are broken for anyone who didn't get a warning.
These comments come 5 years after flames sparked on Maui during Hurricane Lane. The video from 2018 shows the devastation left behind back then. Maui Mayor Richard Bisson addressed questions about the sirens.
So everything happened so quickly. I can't comment on whether or not the sirens sounded or not, but I know that the fires came up so quickly and they spread so fast.
Now, we've reached out to the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency about the Attorney General's pending investigation and are waiting for a response.
Those affected by the wildfires can now apply for assistance by visiting the Disaster Assistance website. You can also call the FEMA helpline at 800-621-3362. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Stay with us. More incredible video on the escape from the Lahaina blaze next at 6.